Alright guys, so welcome to my first iDrive video, man. Today is going to be a legendary video like I told you guys. Because, man, like I said, I can't really, I can't talk. That's how excited I am, man. So right now we just going to get into it because, like I said, we don't have that much time. We don't have that much light. So here it is. Told you, man. I told you, when I say legendary, man, I'm talking legendary. Know what I'm saying? You know what that is. That's a Hellcat, baby. Let's go. Told you, man. When I say legendary, I'm telling you, it's legendary. So, man, I'm glad that we were finally able to meet. If you could just want to let them know what your name is, you know, how long you've had the car. Yeah. And if you get shy, man, it's all good, man, because, you know, I know it's hard getting behind the camera because sometimes I mess up getting behind the camera. So if you mess up, man, it's all good. So just basically tell them who you are, tell them how long you have the car, what you've done to it, and, man, yeah.
So go by Hellcat Cheers on Instagram. Had the car 2016. You know, haven't got much done to it, but, you know, a few little upgrades here and there. You know, the custom Hellcat sticker.
Okay. Yeah, and I was just gonna ask you about that too, because I asked them, does something like that come from factory? Because, like I said, man, I've never actually gotten this close to you know, get to a Hellcat. So I really didn't know. I saw it on your Instagram, and yeah. So talk about that.
So, yeah, I mean the sticker. I mean, I was in the market looking for stickers, a Hellcat logo on the side. I ran across this one, looked dope. When I ended up actually getting it, it was actually a lot bigger than what the sticker was on the photo was.
Really?
So part of the sticker actually got cut off, and this whole sticker, the guy who installed the vinyl, had to hand make it.
Oh, really?
On the spot. So if you ever look at other ones, you'll ever notice that they'll probably go about to here.
I've seen that, yeah.
Mine actually goes all the way across my entire door, so that's pretty much custom. Only I probably have that size.
Well, I was gonna say, man, it's dope. Like I said, man, you know, I've never seen it like that. Like you said, I've seen it to where, like, they only have them, like, down here. It's, you know, a little small. But when I seen it, I was like, dude, that's tight. So, I mean, hey, it just makes your car stand out, as well as with the color, man. This color is sick. So tell them a little bit about the color, and like I said, because I've never, honestly, ever seen a Hellcat this color. So you said something about that. It was like a
premium.
Premium, okay.
So yeah, it's a premium color. It's plum crazy purple.
Okay.
Dodge's names. Yeah, I mean, I told myself if I ever got a Hellcat, it had to be purple because purple's my color.
Right.
Obviously, Dodge did an absolute incredible job with the color purple.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people kind of compliment on it because they wouldn't expect purple to be this, you know, great looking.
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, the color's a premium. I got the full, you know, sun roof. I got custom headrest inside the car.
Okay.
You know, wicker bell, diffusers, lowering springs,
right.
H&R. You know, resonator, muffler, delete, nothing too crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, got some big stuff coming in, hopefully soon.
Okay.
For Springfest.
Right. So, now, how long have you owned the car? How long have you had the car?
I've had it since 2016. So,
okay,
and the car is a 2016.
Oh, so you bought it new.
So it's, I mean, it's a little dirty, but
that's all good, man. Everyday driver.
Custom headrest.
So there's his Instagram. You can go give him a follow. And yeah, man. Like I said, it's clean. I like the headrest. Did the headrest come like that, or you got it?
No, I had to get that made as well.
You got it made? Okay.
Got that made.
Okay. That's dope, man. And I see you got the little the louver, man. That's clean. I was really never a fan of these. Really, I mean, I've seen them before. But honestly, it makes the car, just by that little bit makes a big difference, man. So that's clean. So I see you got that done as well. Is that something? Yeah. Oh, you got the purple logo. See, that's tight, man. That's one of a kind. Like I said, I've never seen this color in a Hellcat before. So, I mean, you killed it with this color, man. Do you plan on keeping it this color? Or do you plan on, like, wrapping it or doing anything like that?
Pretty soon, not sure what, before March. I am wrapping the car.
Okay.
But it's I wouldn't say a full wrap, but a partial wrap.
Partial wrap.
Basically, I want to keep my original color.
Okay.
But the wrap that's going over it, kind of like a can't really explain it, but
Right.
when you guys see it, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Nah, I get what you mean, man.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to do something a little different.
Boy, man, it definitely is different, man. Like I said, the color's clean, and that's just really all I got to say, man. So, what have you done to the motor? Like, have you done any motor work or anything yet?
Motorized, I have done no motor work whatsoever.
No motor, so it's all stock?
I'm actually on my second, second engine. I blew out my first one. Water damage.
I see.
You know, I mean, it is what it is. Luckily, warranty covers all of that. But yeah, I mean, for now we're just focused on looks, really.
Okay.
I mean, 707 horsepower. It's more than enough. You know.
For no, yeah, definitely.
At the end of the day, you're looking for trouble, so there's too many tickets.
Nah. So you know what's funny though is because I heard with these cars that if you're not really careful with the motor or if something happens, they are notorious for blowing up. You know, water, whether it's water or I know they set them up to perform. You know, of course, with 707. But what's crazy is I have been looking and that I've noticed that, you know, if people don't take care of them or ladle the water, they do tend to blow up or, you know, they tend to go out. How many miles did you have on it when that happened?
So, long story short, I mean, it was one of those time when rain was crazy. Water flooded. I ran through a pothole. Had the water run up about halfway on my hood.
Oh, you got the little Hellcat number right there. I didn't even see that.
And so obviously the water went through the air intake.
Oh, I see.
Car hydrolocked for about a month or two.
Okay.
The car got all the oils, everything flushed out. It started up good. Ran good for about another month and a half, but I noticed, you know, it was always smoking through the back when every time it wasn't like a cold start.
Okay.
Like I said, one day, I was hitting a light, and I heard a big pop.
Oh,
I thought it was my tire.
Right.
You know, I turned and looked around, saw oil leaking. I had to take it to the dealership.
Okay.
Dealership ran it, and they found a big old hole in the motor about this
Dang.
big. Piston blew up with pressure.
Oh man.
It's a process, so you know they ask for oil records.
Right.
They ask for, you know, maintenance record. They check the car history.
Oh yeah, because they got to tell basically if you're taking care of the car versus, you know, beating it to shit.
Yeah, so they do a lot before they actually accept it. Luckily, I kept my engine stock. You know, I had records of everything. I always take the dealership for that reason.
Okay.
And so they covered it, and yeah, they ran me a new engine, and so the car had about 32,000 miles.
Okay. How many miles do you have on it now? Or how many miles do you have on the car, and then how many miles do you have on the new motor?
So on the car itself has, on the dashboard, it shows 43,000 miles.
Okay.
And with the new engine, I'm at about 2,000 miles.
About two. Oh, so it's barely broken in. So it must have just happened not to. Oh, you said when the last rainstorm that we had.
I think I want to say about a year.
Okay.
About a year. 2 Valentine's ago.
Oh, okay. So it happened a while ago.
Yeah, and so, you know, ever since then it's been kind of pushed back with the whole building on it, because I wasn't sure if I was going to get the car back or I wasn't. But like I said, I got some, you know, actually ordering a new front OEM lip. Okay. So I'm removing this one. Obviously it has too much scrapes. Right. I'm going with the carbon fiber.
Oh, there you go.
Lip. So hopefully that gives it a little different look.
Okay. So you said there was some type of like event coming up that you said. What are your plans as of right now? What are your plans what are you trying to do to it before that event?
So before this event, it's in March, Spring Fest. It'll be my 4th year going to it. It's every year. FCE cars, you know. Before that, so technically before that, I'm doing rims, obviously. Okay. I'm going with some wider rims. Different looks. Don't get me wrong, I love these Hellcats.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say the stock wheels on these Hellcats, man. They're nice as it is.
Yeah, these are definitely by far my favorite personally. The thing is, it's already a Hellcat, so with the stock rims, it's like, oh, it's, you know, it doesn't give it that aggressive look like another car that isn't a Hellcat with these rims. Exactly. And so I'm doing, you know, new rim style. I'm thinking actually of going with this company. It's called AirTech. Okay. They're out in New York. I saw some model that love them. Doing a 2-piece rim.
Okay, there you go.
Rims all around. and like I said, the wrap.
Okay.
So for now, those two things. In the future, I want a wide body.
Right.
But I'm still debating it because I don't want to go bags.
But
I don't want to be wide body and not bags.
And not bad, yeah, because
so,
you gotta, if you're wide body, it's mandatory that you gotta go back. So why don't you want to go back?
So my reasons for not wanting to go back is a lot of people that have back tell me, it's a headache.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about air pressure. You know?
Exactly.
2, I'm not trying to have my Hellcat just for shows.
Right.
And and obviously that's 3 with 2. I don't daily it, but I do drive it more.
Okay. Now, and I was just gonna ask you that, with the mileage being so low, with it being in 2016, I was gonna ask, do you daily this, or is this more of like a weekend car, or just something to pull out?
Honestly, it really depends on how I'm feeling. I try to just weekend it, but I mean,
But it's hard to do that when you have a Hellcat. You know what I mean? Like, I can say something about my car right there, yeah, whatever. But when you got a Hellcat, man, I don't know. To me, that just feels like, you try to do it, but, how can you go from a car like this, 707 horsepower, to something else and then be happy about it? You know what I mean? Because honestly, if I got something like this, I would never drive that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though these cars, they get like the worst gas mileage just from what I looked. But, when you have a Hellcat, you really don't have to worry about miles per gallon. You know what I mean? So if this isn't your daily, what kind of car do you daily, during the week?
So if I don't daily this, I'm either driving my Silverado.
Okay.
Or I'm either driving my wife's Maxima.
Okay.
That's a daily.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm at work Monday to Friday, and so when I get home, it's either just gym or my daughter's soccer practice.
Okay.
And that's about it, but like I said, yeah, man, it's hard to not want to daily it, but if keeping it wise, you want to daily it because in the long run it's what's going to be counting more. But I mean, it's like I said, it's a Hellcat. It's kind of hard.
Right.
It's kind of hard to go from driving that to your normal car.
Exactly. So what made you want to get a Hellcat? What made you want to get the Challenger versus the Charger, or what made you want to be like, I'm gonna go get this Hellcat? You know what I mean?
So what's funny is I actually, before this, I had a Chrysler.
Okay.
300.
Okay. Was it the S?
Huh?
The S?
The S. 300S V8.
Okay. There you go.
I had it. Full straight pipes. Air intake, headers.
Okay.
Basically, full good tune.
Right.
Went in for an oil change. It's a normal day. Wasn't never planning on getting a Hellcat.
That's how they get you.
I know the owner at the dealership, and he calls me like, "Hey man, I got something. I've been waiting for you to see it. I got this car for you. Like, I haven't shown anybody."
Okay.
Long story short, he shows me the car, tells me to go ahead, test drive it. They know me at the dealership, so.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Drive it, me and my wife always spoke. We got a Hellcat to be purple. It has to have sunroof.
Right.
I mean, and this car was basically the perfect car. It was actually pre-ordered from the original owner.
Okay.
So it was never at the dealership. It was a car that came straight from the
sunroof.
factory to the owner.
Okay.
Fortunately, the guy had it for like a month. It was too much, and he traded in for a Chevy SS.
Okay.
It only had about 5,000 miles.
Wow. Okay.
And so, like I said, it was the perfect car. 2016, obviously, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I'm not probably gonna get approved for this. It's a Hellcat. This is the big thing. Anyways, numbers went through. Everything we asked for matched. So, I said, let's go ahead and go for it.
There you
it's
go.
the color we wanted. The reason I went with the Challenger versus the Charger is, well, don't get me wrong, the Chargers, I love them.
Yeah.
The Cannon Plan, obviously 4 doors. I have 2 daughters.
Exactly. I was gonna say, you have kids, man. So I'm like, I've seen videos, man. The back seat, it's not the best, especially for, even little kids. It's, got to get comfortable in the front. So I was gonna say, so explain why you got this one versus with a Charger.
Definitely, I'll go with the Challenger. It's a love-hate thing with both of them. It's so hard. Like, you see one a certain way, and you're like, damn. You see one the other way, you're like, okay, now I know why. But to me, I think the Challenger has just kept that muscle look.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the upgrades you can do around it, especially the rear end.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I can't complain with it. Love it.
Like, even just the way you have it now, man, like, it just sits good. Like, I see you got the, you know, the thing down there and all that. And you said, as far as the exhaust, you are...
muffler and resonator delete.
Okay.
And I obviously switched the original stock mufflers to the quads.
Okay.
So, but yeah, definitely that's my reason why I went with the Challenger. You know, love the muscle look of it.
Right.
You know, I feel like when you add things to it, it makes it aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I can't help but to look at these tires, man. These are some beefy tires. So hopefully you guys can be able to see it. But look how wide that tire is. And it looks like it's, what, a 315? Now,
315.
do the 315s, do these come stock on these cars, or is this something that you put on?
On the anything I think from Hellcat 15 and 17,
Okay.
they all come with all around the same 275.
Yep.
Obviously, 275 doesn't even do the work.
Nah.
Anything newer, they come obviously with a bigger tire now. But
Okay.
yeah, so now I'm running a 315 versus 275.
Now, did you keep the same 275 in the front, or are you running 315s all around?
No, I'm running the stock 275s in the front.
Stock 275s, okay. But, I mean, you guys get an idea. I mean, look at the 275, but, you know. But, yeah, with a Hellcat, you know, I think that's really small as far as the 275. So, yeah, he went with the big boy tires. Now, I do see the brakes here. You got Brembo brakes. Did this come stock with the car, or is this something that you upgraded?
That comes with the Hellcat.
Comes with the Hellcat.
The Hellcat comes with the Brembo brake. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, he's running that much power.
Yeah.
I mean, smaller than
Like,
that.
look at the size of that rotor, man. Like, yeah, you 707 horsepower. You're gonna need something to be able to stop this. So yeah, man. So like I said, you know, kind of running out of sunlight. I know, you know, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to be able to sit and basically go over the car, man. So I definitely do appreciate that.
Man.
And like I said, man, his Instagram, go follow his Instagram, man. Show him some love. But yeah, so let's get a look at the motor. I know you said you don't have too much done to it, but for those who have never seen a Hellcat, you know, we'll show you what the motor looks like.
The thing is, the most common question asked when owning a Hellcat
Okay.
is by far, which I think is the funniest question, but I guess it's so common. It's like the one, I'm not sure if it's jealous, like hate from people, or
Right.
just they assume,
Okay.
or what gives them. But the number one question asked is it a real Hellcat?
Is it?
I get that
Is it a
question
real
the
Hellcat?
most asked is it a real Hellcat?
And see, what's crazy though is you're gonna get those questions from people who don't know about cars. That they're gonna ask, is it a real Hellcat? Because anybody will know whether if it's a real Hellcat or not.
Yeah, that's the one question asked. And even when I tell them it is a Hellcat, they ask, well, what kind of motor is it? You know, obviously, if you have a real Hellcat, you're gonna know what
Exactly.
kind of engine you're running. But that is the most
SRT
common
right
question.
there. See, and those questions you're gonna get from people who don't know what they're talking about or don't know cars. Like you know, you can definitely tell the difference between a regular Challenger and a Hellcat Challenger. Like there's just no comparison. I mean, it tells you right here. You know what I mean? It tells you right there. It tells you on the motor, supercharged. Like you're getting those questions from people who don't know what they're talking about. So yeah, man. So that's it. So man, if you want, shoot, let's go for a ride and
Yeah, definitely.
go for it. I'm telling you, man, for the ones that don't know they cars, man, y'all need to shut up. Let us get a little quick rev real quick. Man. Legendary, man. Legendary. And one thing you also can tell, if you don't know the difference between like a regular Challenger and a Hellcat, an SRT, is you always want to look right here because they got the little air scoop right there on each side. See, you can always tell the difference whether if it's SRT or RT or whatever. They always got the little scoop right there. Without further ado, baby, let's get in it. So talk about the different modes that they have. So in case if you don't know the logistics of a Hellcat, see, I know all this because of, you know, the YouTube videos. But if it's a normal person, tell them about the different modes that they have in these cars.
So I mean, yeah, like I said, there's, you know, you got your SRT pages. You know, basically kind of goes down to, you know, track, sport, you know, default, and then there's custom.
Okay.
So, you know, custom is kind of more of gives you the options of exactly what you want and how you want it.
Okay.
Versus sport and track, that automatically, you know,
automatically populates
changes it.
Yeah.
You know, so if I go to track mode, you know, transmission paddles, you know, suspension, everything is fully tracked. Sport mode, you know, gives me almost basically the similar to it, but I don't have the aggressive track mode of gears, you know, switching gears. When you're on track mode, it's so much sensitive, pulls more, you know, and then you got customs, you know, so I might want to mess around a little bit, you know, I want to be on 500 mode, but I want traction, you know, suspension wise. Even the suspension on sport mode and all that, it really makes a difference.
Right.
Sport street mode, it gives you a good, nice, stable drive. When you're on track mode and you're on lowering springs, it feels like you're on a Honda Civic lower springs where you're bouncing up, you know. So definitely I used to do custom, you know, I do 500. Obviously we're gonna do 700, you know.
And let's not get misconstrued. You see that red key right there? I don't know if you can see it, but that's that red key, baby. So he about to give me all of the 700. I'm kind of scared, to be honest with you. I ain't even gonna lie. Woo! You know, let me not show that, you know, I don't want to incriminate nobody, but damn, like, there's no words for that. You know, you see it on these YouTubers, man. You see them, you know, with the Hellcats, man. But when you actually get in a Hellcat yourself, like, Jesus, like, there's just no feeling with that power. Like, I tell you, the fastest car that I honestly ever driven was a Camaro SS. Like, I driven a Camaro SS and I thought I was the fastest thing, but like, and you figure the SS's have what, 400, 500 horsepower. I think it was like a 2015 or a 2016.
There's options, you know, I mean, kind of gives you everything, you know, tells you, you know, horsepower, gear, obviously your RPM. So.
Okay. Sure, every time you do that, man, it's just a smile on your face. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's 700. I haven't really, you know, I haven't launched it. I'm not a crazy track person, so it still scares me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's drivers out there that know what they're doing in their Hellcats that will, you know, I mean, definitely get these cars going. You know, I mean, it's all really, especially on the Hellcat, it's all driver mod. You know.
Right. Exactly.
So you know, I might be able to control 700. Horsepower is different from someone that, you know, I mean, someone that knows how to launch these things in the track.
Right. And you know what's crazy though, man, is I see a lot of people who have Hellcats, they go with the automatics. And have you driven a manual? Like, have you driven a manual Hellcat before, or was the automatic just one that?
From what I know and I've heard, and this is obvious, and this is for like big track persons, and I've seen, you know, I got buddies that get, you know, manual, you know, Mustangs. They switch it to auto. The thing is, once you start having so much horsepower, you know what I mean, to have, you know, 700 and up horsepower, you gotta be, you know, on your A game every time you're gonna switch a gear. So the thing with the autos is, you know, if you're not on paddle shifters, those automatic gears are gonna just always hit boom, boom, boom. If you're on paddle shifters, it's a lot easier to control the traction than to, you know, have to worry about switching the, you know, clutching in and And so what I hear is that a lot on Hellcat says that the autos are quicker.
Yes.
than
Yep.
manual.
And I looked that up, and yeah, the automatics in the Hellcats are actually a tad bit quicker than the manuals. So if you want to get a and what's crazy though is, you know, you think muscle, you're like, oh man, it has to be a manual. But the way they're engineering these new cars, man, it's like these automatics, man, like you saw it, like you saw the way it was shifting, man. It shifts a whole lot quicker, in my opinion, than anybody can shift a manual.
Incredible too.
Oh yeah, them Brimbos, man.
They power stop and they stop.
Right. Oh man, I was sure would hope so. When you got 707 under the hood, man, you definitely got to stop somehow.
Yeah.
But just real quick, man, like, you know, if you've never been in a Challenger, you know, and you know, don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure this is baby stuff, so don't worry about it. But you know, like, to me, like, they shouldn't put back seats in them. Like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, with your size and with my size, you know, when I drive, I like to get comfortable. And I have the seat all the way touching the back.
And
so, what?
And the crazy thing is that out of all the coupes, the Challenger is the one with the most space, front and back seats.
Right.
From a Camaro, a Mustang. You know what I mean? I had plenty, you know, friends with the Mustangs, and, you know, their rear seats are small from the feet to the roof.
Right.
And like the Challenger is actually by far the most spacious for the people in the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, when he says people, I don't think he's talking about people that are 6'4" like myself. You know,
like me.
Yeah, I was gonna say people like his size. You know, not me though, because you know I'm 6'4", so in my car, you know, I have a hard time in the back seat. So let alone in a Hellcat, man. But again, man, I definitely appreciate the opportunity that you gave me to do this, man. You know, not everybody is like that. You know what I mean? Especially when, to tell you how I met him, I actually looked up on Instagram Hellcat, and I just one day I was like, you know what? I want to do a review on a Hellcat. So I put in Hellcat, and he has a couple of mutual friends that I know. So that's how he popped up, man. And I just messaged him. And you know what's crazy though is I messaged you. And I messaged a couple other people, and I was like, you know what? Are these people going to actually, you know, be able to do these reviews? Like, I'm thinking, like, you know, people are going to be like, nah, man, I'm cool, I'm good. Like, I don't know you type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when he actually said, yeah, I'm down for it, man, I was like, yo, like, that's crazy. So, man, again, I definitely appreciate you.
No, yeah,
I definitely appreciate the opportunity that you gave me,
like
too.
I said, you know what I mean? I didn't always have a nice car.
Right.
And I used to always be one of those persons, like, you see a nice car, and you know, especially when, you know, even when you're younger, especially the kids, like when the kids see the cars and they go crazy for it, you know, you're happy because you're not just building a car for yourself, but others are actually liking your work.
Right.
And so, you know, I've seen a lot of people were in the car scene too that they act like they're too much.
Yeah.
Oh, you see the car, oh, don't touch it, don't look at it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the way I see it is like when you're a car person, you know, you look at cars like if there's food or candy.
Exactly.
You want to grab, or you want to, you know what I mean?
You want to touch it.
You want to, exactly. And so the way I see it is like, man, I used to be like, damn, that car is sick, or that's a Lambo, or that's, you know, any car. And like, damn, I wonder what it feels like to sit in one, or I wonder what it feels like, you know, to grab one. But there's so many other people out there that are, you know, oh, my car's too good for anybody to grab or sit, or. And
see,
so,
those right there, those aren't car people, man. Those are douches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I feel like if it's something that you want, like with me, like I said, man, a Hellcat is my dream car. And, you know, a lot of people will be like, you know, why a Hellcat? Like, why not a Lambo? Why not this? To be honest with you, man, I feel like people with Lamborghinis and people with Ferraris, man, they just have that, they already have that, that look. Like, oh, he got a Lambo, so he's an asshole. Or like, you know, he got a Ferrari. But like, you know, yeah, like a Hellcat is my dream car. And then for him to actually be able to take the time to do a video with me, man, like I respect that. And I respect what he's talking about as far as, you know, basically, you know, not shutting nobody down, you know, and, you know, I understand like, yeah, this is it's a pretty expensive car, but like letting somebody experience what you're experiencing, you know, that's always the best thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, like you said, you see a car, and sometimes so you see your dream car, and you finally go in it, or whatever the case is, you be like, man, it's not what I expected.
Right.
And so therefore, if someone sees a Hellcat or someone's like, man, that car is dope, you know, and I can share that experience of how I feel for myself driving every day, and you know, to me it's like, man, it feels like in a spaceship. So if they get in and they, you know, whatever, you know, sit in the backseat, front seat, and get the experience, who knows? Maybe they might motivate to want to get their dream car, or they might be like, you know what, my dream car is not what I thought it was.
Right. Hell no.
You know, so.
And now on my way home, I'm about to hate life coming from 707 to whatever that car has. But yeah, man, like I said, I definitely appreciate it. I definitely appreciate the time that you took. And man, like I said, I hope the best of what you got, and I hope to see the upgrades that you have, you know, before your Spring Fest, man. But yeah, so let's let me just give you one more video of that car, baby. Legendary. A little shaky, but we ain't gonna worry about that, man. But hey, big shout out to Luis, man. Real cool dude, man, that I just met, that gave me the opportunity to do a review on his car, man. I really appreciate you, man. And I appreciate people like that, because, you know, it's crazy. He mentioned earlier that, you know, he didn't want to be one of those people that, you know, has a nice car that doesn't want to show it off, you know. And he made a really good point. Because I have met some people, and I get it, you know, the dollar amount of the car, you know, whether it's a rare car. But he was like, man, I want to give people the opportunity to be able to experience what I experience. And, you know, I definitely respect him for that too. Because like I said, man, I've met some people to where, you know, they are basically like, don't touch my car, don't look at it, like, it's mine. Like, you try to ask questions about it, and they're like, no, like, get away from me. And, you know, there are people out there, there are car people not out there. And, you know, really with me, those people are douches, you know what I mean? Like, they're not a true car person. And with him, man, it was a different story, man. He pretty much told me about the car, let me experience it, man. Like I said, the fastest car that I've ever ridden and driven, to me, was I think it was a 2016 or 2017 Camaro SS. It was a rental. And I thought that car was fast. And I want to say those, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think those are like high fours, low fives, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, as far as horsepower. And I thought I was fast in that car. Like, I thought that car was the fastest thing ever. And then getting into this car, man, like, you got to add two more hundred horsepower. And I'm like, yo, like, that feeling of getting pushed in your seat is like a phenomenal feeling. Like, me driving my car back home, I'm hot. Because going from 707 to 100 and whatever that this car has, like, I'm hot. But nah, man, I appreciate you, Luis, man. You're a real good dude, man. I appreciate people like you. I appreciate people that give other people the opportunity to experience that, man. That right there, I tell you, man, just gave me so much motivation to take that leap of faith. And shout out to Tall Guy Car Reviews, man. Shout out to Omi and a Hellcat, and shout out to Mr. Organic with a K. Because, man, you guys gave me the biggest motivation to get behind this camera and start recording, man. And for him, you know, giving me the opportunity to get into a car like that, man, that just gives me so much more motivation. So shout out to you guys for real. But yeah, man, like I said, you know, right now I'm on my way home, but I appreciate it. Like I said, man, I told you when I said that there were some legendary cars coming, there was some legendary cars coming. So, you know, like I said, man, I can't talk because I'm just so, you know, it's basically like one of those, when you're a kid in a candy store, or, you know, you're a kid, you're a gamer at a video game store, where there's so, like, you see so much you want, and you just get shocked. Like, that's the way I am when it comes to cars. Like, riding in that car, man, there's really no way to describe it besides damn. Like, the feeling of hitting that accelerator and getting thrown into the seat, like, man, that was crazy. But hey, I appreciate you guys watching my video, man, and once again, I appreciate the support. Like I said, and y'all know who you are, the real subscribers out there, man. You guys know who you are, the ones that rock with me, the ones that support me, man. But hey, another thing that I wanted to mention too, man, is the amount of subscribers that I got. Like, I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you, within the short time that I was doing YouTube, man. I highly couldn't believe it. And I do apologize if you can't really see me, because I'm driving home and it's getting dark. And that's one thing I hate about time change, man. It gets dark at 5 o'clock. So anyway, I appreciate it, man. It was a phenomenal. I said that wrong. It was a great feeling seeing my subscriber count go up in the little bit of time that I started doing YouTube, and that right there, that little bit right there, gave me the ultimate motivation to, you know, continue. Because honestly, I wanted to do YouTube, and like when I first started, I was like, you know, is this gonna be for me? But you guys definitely proved me wrong, and I highly appreciate you guys, man. And once again, man, for the motivation, shout out to Tall Guy Car Reviews, shout out to Omi the Hellcat, shout out to Mr. Organic with a K, man. Because those three dudes right there gave me so much motivation just to even start what I'm doing right now, man. And I hope one day that I do get to meet you guys, man. It would be a big blessing to meet you guys, like straight up, and like a big opportunity to meet you guys. And hopefully one day I'll be on y'all guys' level. But hey, you gotta start somewhere, man. Gotta take baby steps. So that's what I'm doing, basically taking the leap of faith and, you know, just going to the goal that I want to go in life. But I appreciate you guys watching, man. This video is over. I'm gonna focus on driving home. And yeah, we out.